Hello and welcome to another episode of Hour 1. As always, I'm Charlie, and this time we'll be checking out the game Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. For those not familiar with the format, I'll be playing the first hour of the game and giving my thoughts and impressions on it afterwards. That being said though, let's get to it. Shit, this game's pretty.
Hold on! Nathan! They're gaining on us! I know. We'll crank it! I'm going as fast as I can!
Start the timer now. Yeah, apparently.
Keep heading towards you. I'll try to hold them off. Shit! Here they come!
That'd be pirates.
They got smaller boats! Ram them! Got it! Hey, assholes! Tell your boss to
There we go.
find your own damn treasure! Not doing much damage, man.
Hey, they fixed the aiming some. Oh, I'm gonna have to do so much work on the sensitivity. Oh!
Esto va a estar más fácil de lo que esperaba, ¿eh?
You're gonna have to do it better than that, pal.
Acabemos con esto.
Let's go.
Chingada, este gringo sabe pelear, ¿eh?
¡Bravo! ¡Mata a este
¿Te
gringo!
gusta esto?
¡Dale!
That's new. Very new. Is it? Feels new.
There's the prison cell. How do I get up there? Here we go.
Some Tomb Raider action. Good to know. Yep. Yeah, that's about right. Oh, that's nice. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. I just kind of reached up and eventually grabbed the ledge I was going for. It automatically pulled himself up. That's a nice little touch. Very minute, but still really nice. That's about right. That's some good finger roll animation. Damn.
Hurry up!
Ow!
Damn, it's open! We got it! Let's go!
I don't see the lighthouse.
Right now, let's just get away from the guard.
Gotta love third world prisons. You can just push bars out of the wall.
Through here! Watch yourself! Oh, crap! Over there, to the left! Alto!
Sam. I'm coming. Keep going, right?
Alright, so yeah, that's an hour. I probably actually cut it right at the blackout because the blackout leads into a just absolutely stunning recap of the franchise that I may have moved up to the front for the opening cinematic thing, for the intro, I guess, what you call it, because, yeah, the opening hour of this game is one giant prologue tutorial, which isn't a bad thing, but at the same time, it doesn't leave me a lot to talk about, because, well, really, nothing's kicked off yet officially. Like, we've been introduced to the character of Sam, who is indeed apparently Nate's biological brother. When they announced this game, I was betting 50-50 that, Sam might actually be a metaphorical brother, someone who grew up in the orphanage with Nate, but apparently he's his actual brother, and he gives us a little more information than we've ever gotten about Nate's upbringing prior to becoming, well, the world-class thief he is, which is kind of cool. Like, they had a dad, the mom died, I guess, and the dad dumped him off at an orphanage, because reasons, which are fantastic. The game looks really pretty, at least on my TV. I'm not sure if this is the game itself, so it might not show up in the recording, but occasionally the characters will turn into the sun, and they'll get this kind of screen door texture across their face. It's really brief and easy to miss it. It might be the texture they've gone with for skin, which, if that's the case, it's not a great choice, but it also just might be my TV being my TV. I had one kind of screen tear moment as well, but besides that, the visuals have been just stunning. The greens are green, the blues are blues, the stone looks old as hell and weathered and shit. It's an Uncharted game. What more are you expecting at that point? That's like saying I expect Unreal Tournament games to be bloody. The game looks fantastic, and there's a bunch of this little character details, like, in the past, yes, there's been stuff where Nate reaches up and he'll put his hand on stuff. There was one situation where I thought something I'd have to jump to. Nate got his hand on it and then pulled the rest of himself up automatically without me doing anything aside for aiming him there, which doesn't seem like much, but it's really cool the game works the way it does. From a gameplay perspective, I actually want to say they've toned back some of the hand-holding this. Maybe I'm remembering Uncharted 3 wrong, but definitely in Uncharted 2 and 1, they gave pretty obvious paths to follow for the climbing segments. They were often things that were highlighted in bright pastel reds and yellows. They've toned that back some and have left it much more up to your, I wouldn't call it imagination, because there's still very much a correct path, but to your interpretation of the landscape, which it seems like a minor change, but it actually does make a big difference in, yeah, figure it out for yourself. So, there's been no combat so far, really. The punching doesn't feel great. I remember there being some type of counter button at one point that appears to be gone. I may be confusing that with the counter system for the giant brutes in Uncharted 3. Those appear to be gone so far, but I'm not crossing my fingers just yet. The gunplay, I had to bump the sensitivity up way high, which I think I've had to do with every Uncharted game so far, so yeah, the controls are almost identical as best I can tell. There's this new grappling hook mechanic, which is basically Spider-Man's web shooter. If you're used to the Tomb Raider or Rise of the Tomb Raider grappling hook, it should feel pretty goddamn similar, because it's kind of a meh, shoot from your wrist, latch onto things while moving and doing impossible things with a grappling hook. It feels very, very appropriate for this game. Kind of surprised there wasn't one sooner, but at the same time, it's nice they put this in for the finale. I guess the bad would be the start. It feels slow, if that makes any sense. Like, it's literally the first hour is a prologue that leads to cutscene. I'm sure this kind of pirate treasure I've started to stumble upon is the main arc of the game. Don't know if Rafe will come back or not. Seeing as I've seen video of Sam being alive later on in time, and he was also in the opening on the boat with us, I know he's not dead, which diminishes the stakes some, I guess, but yeah, in typical Uncharted fashion, you're picking up the story at the very beginning, somewhere after some events have transpired, which I'd have loved if they started from the beginning this time. They've shown some stuff off in trailers that made it seem like a different game, I want to say, but I don't know. I will say this, though. There has been almost nothing new except for the grappling hook in the first hour, which I've read a little bit of stuff about how the center of this game is amazing, and the beginning and end are kind of, yup, they're Uncharted. This is how we make these games. And I have to agree with that. This game, for better or worse, feels like an Uncharted game. It looks amazing. Nate, he comes from a family and hangs with a crowd of oddly acrobatic people who do things the Cirque du Soleil guys look at it and go, you know, that's nuts, man. But if you're a fan of this franchise, you probably already have the game. If you have never played an Uncharted game before, this seems like as good a place as any. There's the PS4 kind of HD collection remake of all the stuff. I actually might start with that because you might be missing out on some of the story that leads Nate to who he is in this game. And like the introduction of his brother is a pretty big deal because for most of the other games, it's been Nate on his own with Sully and the occasional kind of sidekicky character. But yeah, it's Uncharted. I'm pretty excited about it. The stakes are high, the action is bombastic, the environments are beautiful, the combat has never been the strong suit, so yeah! I kind of want to see what comes after this little prologue or the intro cinematic I found myself in. This game feels unbelievably cinematic, and that's not a bad thing. It's Uncharted, that's all I gotta say on this one. It feels like the next Uncharted game, which for some, maybe you want more, but for me, I'm okay with just more Nathan Drake in my life. So yeah. I want to see what the rest of this game is. That's all I got. 15 years later. Is Sam a zombie?
Made it to the bottom.
Okay. According to your signal, you're at the coordinates. Any sign of our haul?
No. Not yet, anyway. You got any pings from up there?
Afraid not.
All right. I'll just keep heading downstream.
Something Wicked Studios.
Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you give us a thumbs up down below, you share us with all your friends, and you subscribe to the channel. If you're looking for more videos right now, we've got a whole bunch of ones all over the channel you can get to by the links below. If you hit the random button, I promise to send you to a good one. You know you want to. Press it. Press it.